Okay, we are finally back with the Odd Eyes Performapal deck. This is going to be a new try. Nothing too special happened with the deck. Right now I'm playing a 41 card version of the deck, I think so. Something around those lines. We are going to start off by going for Performapal Guitartle. And we're going to set the Pendulum scales, hopefully. This one, yeah, I am trying to play a little bit with this Performapal pop-up, but I don't know what to think about this for now, so it is basically still in a testing environment where I'm playing this. And the question is, do I want to set Wavering Magician into this Pendulum zone? No, I do not. So I am going to go for Butler, Performapal Butler. You might have noticed that my sound quality is a little different from usual. You might have also not noticed that. I don't know. If you noticed it, it's because I changed some settings on. I didn't actually change much on the sound, the microphone itself. I mostly changed things around. I basically put something akin to a pop filter. And when I say akin to a pop filter, I literally mean I just I put a mask, like a COVID mask, onto my microphone. So that's my pop filter right now. Let's see how well this works. This is a test deck that, not a test deck, a test duel that shows how well this pop filter works, because I had two recordings. Excuse me. I had two recordings before this that were ready to upload, I think 20-minute videos, two of them, where I also played this kind of deck, and those recordings, after I listened to them, I always set Performapal, and the sound was incredibly annoying. What do I mean by that? I'm just saying that it really hurt a lot to listen to. When you say the P or B letter, then you breathe out air from your mouth, which essentially means that. One second, I have to think about how I get rid of those tokens. I'm going to do this, and that should help a little bit. But this essentially means that... Oh, he's going to go for Contact C. Thank you very much for this order. Yeah, let's go for this. And essentially this just means I can't concentrate. If you use those specific letters, then you will breathe out air from your mouth. And if you do that, then eventually this air will land on the microphone, and the microphone membrane will register this as a sound. So you will hear a very bad cracking noise. And that is what I wanted to circumvent, which is why I am doing this. Not only I want to circumvent this, many people want to circumvent mouth breathing into the microphone. That's a completely normal thing. So yeah, this is why I am trying this out now. And as you see, this deck has a very glaring weakness. If your opponent plays Mystic Mine, you can't actually beat him. At least I don't know how you could beat him. There is exactly one card that can beat Mystic Mine players in this deck, I think. Exactly one card, and that card specifically is it's not in my deck. A card that could be put into my deck so that I could beat Mystic Mine, and that would be Odd Eyes Gravity Dragon. However, I have a very big problem with that card. My problem with it is the fact that it could be quite bricky. And when I say quite, it's actually not as bad as I'm making it out to be. If I played Odd Eyes Gravity Dragon, then I would also have to... yeah, let's go for that. I would have to play the Ritual spell. In my case, it would be Odd Eyes Advent, and that's the most logical thing to do. And I have ways of searching both of those out. One of those ways is going for Gentrude, and the other way is going for... I'm not playing Sky Iris, but I could theoretically also go for Sky Iris. The other way would be always Pendulumgraph Dragon, which I could also play. However, is it really worth it for this one matchup to do that? I am thinking about maybe not, maybe I should just go for things like Harvey's Feather Duster. And that's why in this version of the deck I think I'm playing one Harvey's Feather Duster and one Lightning Storm. And currently my side deck isn't actually well equipped to this glaring problem of mine. I think I have some basic things against some meta decks, but I don't really have anything against Mystic Mine, which is actually quite a problem. Also, he now goes for the Jamadu. Nice. Yeah, I really can't do anything with this right now. I can just wait until I'm dead, or until I find a Harpy's Feather Duster. But even then, that's not enough because I still need him to either summon a monster, or because of his field barrier, I can't actually beat my opponent with Harpy's Feather Duster right now. I'm just going to make this a little faster. Did I banish my Harpy's Feather Duster? No, I did not. I went for another Wavering Eyes, I guess so. Sure, let's set that down. And let's end my turn. Let's pitch this Ladyange. I don't even know whether or not I could kill him in one turn if he summoned a monster, to be honest. He goes for Santa Claus. Oh, I like Santa Claus. I can't activate the effect, of course, because we are under a Kaiju card. Yeah, well, I only have 3 cards to go, and I think, or maybe this version of the deck doesn't even play that card, Harvey's Feather Duster or Lightning Storm. Magic Reflector. I guess I can't really do anything against that. Oh, I'm sorry if you heard that. So now this Mystic Mine is really annoying to get rid of, to be gotten rid of. It doesn't matter. And now I get Lightning Strike. But yeah, I also have one other problem. Let's go for Wavering Eyes. I should have maybe gone for that last time. Yeah, if he goes for his set cards, he goes for Magic Jammer. And I guess we are going to end it here. We are going to have to end it. If Heavy Storm was legal, by the way, I would be playing it. I think Heavy Storm in my deck is a little better than Harpy's Feather Duster. I may probably play both of those versions. And Harpy's Feather Duster is, I think, the last card in my deck. I'm pretty sure that I'm playing it now, so yeah. This is definitely a me kind of luck. And there it is. Of course, this still doesn't help the Mystic Mine thing. Yeah, GG. He might still have some counter traps, it doesn't really matter now. And yep, we cannot go for anything else. And this he could have just... I know that I'm done. I just... Yeah, well. Anyways, let's talk about my deck in the meantime. Okay, we are back with the deck. And this is the deck that I'm currently using. 41 cards in the deck. Some interesting cards, some not so interesting cards. Dimensional Barrier because of... Yeah, I guess... What it's because of. It's hard to say what exactly it is because of. I mean, for one Death Spear, for one Sword, so... The Xyz deck, I can't really think of its name. I guess Kraken Control at some parts, it's Kraken Control, at some parts it's also... Is it effective against specifically splites? I guess it's a little effective because they don't need to, but that gigantic splite is quite useful, so this might actually be quite useful against them as well. So Dimensional Barrier as well. We have Sky Iris, we have Star Pendulumgraph, Dark Ruler no more. The Scythe Lock. I don't like the Scythe Lock, to be honest, so that's why I'm not really using it. To be honest, I actually think that this part can all go out of my deck, because I'm able to consistently go for Helka Firebridge, go for TG Wonder Magician, destroy my Scythe, and that way complete the Scythe Lock. However, that's so much material for just a prevention of an extra deck card. I don't really think that's worth it. So, what do I want my side deck to do? I want it to help against that kind of situation that I had, not that one, that I had just now. So maybe I should put in more Lightning Storms. But I think, and I'm really unsure about this card, Ordex Gravity Dragon. I don't know. First of all, let's read this card's effect. You can ritual summon this card with Order's Advent. When this card is special summoned, you can return all spells and traps your opponent controls to their hand. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. I think this should work under Mystic Mine, but let me check this for real quick. So I have checked some things, and I think my plan of using this against Mystic Mine does not quite work, to be honest. I just checked, or I didn't really find any specific rulings to this card, but the specific effect reads: your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this effect's activation. This is not the same as your opponent cannot negate this card's effect's activation, this effect is unaffected by your opponent. This effect is affected by your opponent. That's what I'm trying to say. So if my opponent has Skill Drain or Mystic Mine up, then, I mean, of course, before this card was summoned, then they will be able to negate the effect, or, and this is more important, they will be able to prevent me from activating that effect, which is what Mystic Mine does. So that's the big problem. So right now I am in a little bit of a bad position in that regard. I have checked some things of what I could be playing instead, but I didn't find anything. The new Ignister support isn't yet in this specific simulation, so that's the annoying part about this. I have also checked about the Odd Eyes Seer card, which is also not in this simulation just yet. There is some cards that can be used in this position, which would be Spiral Flame Strike. That's a card that I could be playing, and I don't know. It is basically destruction. It is targeted destruction for one card on the field. It also searches one level 7 Odd Eyes monster from deck, or one face-up level 7 Odd Eyes Pendulum monster from extra deck. If I play this, I could be doing that. I could also be going for Gravity Dragon, and I could also be going for Advent. But that would also mean that I have up to 3 more bricks in my deck. And in that case, I also want to put in one more pot of Desires, because my deck actually is so, I mean, look at this, I have a lot of freeze of everything, so I actually think that my deck can handle having 2 pot of Desires in the deck. At least that's my opinion. Performapal Popper Up, I'm still not sure what to do about this. I'm going to be playing it at 1 for now. Maybe it comes up. I tried playing it and sometimes it works. I mean, you saw the one way it worked. Dark Renewal I'm playing at 2 right now. I want to add that at 1 to that Dark Renewal, so now I have 2 free. Let's go for a Forbidden Droplet as well. And Contact Sea is an interesting one. I also want to get maybe Polymerization, but no. I also want to be playing this against specific decks like Despia. Despia can, if you looked at its branded stuff, I did not find any fusion monster which actually requires or which can be summoned by going for an earth monster. So light or dark, light, dark. So if I give them a Contact Sea, then normally they should not be able to summon anything except Guardian Chimera specifically. And Guardian Chimera isn't as useful because it for one requires 3 monsters as material, and second of all, it is quite useless in terms of comboing off of it. So they would have to sacrifice 3 monsters in order to summon that card, and then that might actually be enough of an interruption for me to use this as an opportunity to come back in the game. So right now I am playing it now at 2, when there's also this anti-human intelligence. I think it's a little slow, but I still am playing it. You know, this Star Pendulumgraph is a remnant of earlier days when I played this deck. I had some versions where I played more Magician cards. Right now I'm only playing Harmonizing Magician. I am playing Celestial Magician. I am playing White Wing Magician, right here, and Oafdragon. Exactly 4 magicians, one of them is a Performapal. I don't really have any other level 6 that's useful other than Oafdragon. So if I go for Magician, and I also add the idea monster cards, Pendulum Monster, and Search. This is all the magicians, and as you see there's exactly one Oafdragon and no other 6s, so that's why this deck isn't quite as capable of what as it could be. I also thought about playing this 5 Rainbow Magician. Sometimes it comes up, but right now I'm not playing any traps, so that's why I'm not playing that card as well. It's just not really that useful to me right now. So lastly, I'm going to change the side deck by putting in this red reroute. This might be useful against some decks. And let's go for one more duel. Okay, I think we are in it. My opponent has 14 cards in the extra deck, 5 cards in hand, 40 card deck against my 45 card deck, 15 cards in the extra deck. I guess he was too lazy to fill out the last card in his extra deck, or maybe it actually has some reason to it. Okay, zombies, this is going to be a tough one. Some of my effects do care about whether or not I am playing spellcasters or dragons. Do they care about dragons? I think this build doesn't care about that, but still, this is going to be a tough one. So, we are going to start off by going for Performapal Ladyange, not Lady Lagrange. Let's get rid of this Vortex Butler. And we're going to try to draw 2 cards. So he has 2 cards he could activate. Let's see if he does so. We still have this Guitartle, and he goes for Rivalry of Warlords. Okay, this means that I can only go for... Still alright, I guess. There's one thing I could do, but that doesn't quite work out. The biggest problem right now is the fact that I only have high scales in my hand. And this is also a high scale. I actually banked on the fact that I would get a low scale or something. So since I didn't get any low scales, also I forgot putting in the Pendulumgraph Sorcerer. Not Pendulumgraph Sorcerer, or Pendulumgraph Dragon. We are, I guess, going to go for... Let's go for this White Wing maybe. Let's go for this Monkeyboard. Okay, Monkeyboard, activate. We're going to activate you again, and we're going to go for another Ladyange. I guess at some point it will be useful. We're going to banish our Ladyange, and right now we can't go for anything else because the Skullcrobat Joker is treated as a zombie monster. Right now what we need to do is 1. Get rid of this Monkeyboard in our Pendulum scale, and 2. Put in Ladyange. Then 3. We can go for some stuff in our extra deck. The biggest problem is that we don't really have any zombie support as far as I know. I'm not playing any zombie cards at least, that's more appropriate to say. Yeah, I think we might even have zombie support in the Order's drawer, but not one that I want to play right now. And I really can't do anything else. So he goes for this Jack O'Bolin, and he also has his Jack O'Bolin on field. We are going to set this copy of Called by the Grave. The Spectral Sword is interesting. Next turn he can activate it, I think. But he doesn't have a non-tune zombie monster. He goes for this copy of Harpy's Feather Duster. I don't know what to think about this. Let's get rid of his Spectral Sword with the Called by the Grave, and let's also go for this copy of... I don't know, I have high scales, I have low scales, so in this case I want to go for Lizardraw. Then I will probably go for Guitartle and activate Lizardraw, then go for maybe this Ladyange, and I will have some stuff I can do. And, okay, or there's Valet. That's a valid choice. And he goes for Glow of Bloom, okay. The biggest problem right now is I cannot fully utilize my cards. This zombie world is really problematic for me. I think zombie world is one of the biggest problems against me. I think Necro world is quite annoying to me. Then there's Mystic Mine. I can't beat Mystic Mine, at least for now. And yeah, I really have problems with this mass scale changing types or stuff like that. Immortal Dragon. Oh, I don't know this card, I think. Okay. Interesting, yeah. Interesting. Immortal Dragon seems to be an interesting card. It is also a level 6. So is there a level 12 zombie monster? And if so, can he use the effect of this Immortal Dragon to send this level 12 zombie monster? I don't know. Red Eyes Zombie Dragonlord, okay. That doesn't look too good. We are going to activate our Chronograph Sorcerer in order to have some defense. He has his Vampire Sucker, and we can activate Ladyange now. We can also activate Guitartle. We need some draw power in order to find our cards that can help us in this situation. He has the Doom King Borreload, so that's annoying. I think he went for Junction with Spirit Owl. And now this, did he call monster? I'm not sure. If my complete hand is going away, then yes. And the annoying part about this is the fact that I would actually have a big problem with activating my cards on field. Okay, he banished my Lizardraw. That's also interesting to know. Again, I can't really activate many of my effects, so let's activate this Guitartle for now. We're going to try to go for something. I don't know what we're going for, but we're going to go for drawing 2 additional cards. He can activate his Doom King Borreload. And oh, he's going to go for Dracoslayer, I think. Interesting, I guess. We drew 2 additional cards, and yep, this is what I thought would happen. And that means I can't actually beat him at this point, I think. I can't do anything right now. This is a fiend, right? Yeah, and I guess we can attack into this Vampire Sucker, and yeah, I really have no idea how to do this. He goes for his Immortal Dragon, and this is during his main phase, so he can activate this effect again. He already has Doom King Borreload. He can banish 1 card on the field. It's going to be annoying. Also, if you heard that outside, I guess that's a car that's quite loud. Well, this seems to be the end of me. He now has a tuning. He can go for level 8 Synchro summoning. This is also a tuner, so he could theoretically also put in level 9 out on the field. He went for Vampire Sucker, which is a weird choice, I guess, but sure, if he wants to. Yeah, I'm just going to wait a little bit and let's see where this is going. He goes for Oafdragon Magician. If a zombie would be controlled, okay. Interesting. And he goes for his Immortal Dragon. Let's just effect Valet this one. I think he doesn't send for costs. Does he? Yeah, he doesn't send for cost. This is you can send, and then if you do, I think this is not for cost. This is part of the effect. Matt Mauler is a Plague Spreader zombie in essence, and he can go for this card, Skeletal Dragon Felbrand. Okay. Yeah, interesting. So the 2 biggest problems have not been solved. I still have no idea how to deal with them. My opponent has already won, so I should be focusing on what I want to change with this deck. I mean, Harpy's Feather Duster is an obvious one. I already have it in my deck. I could be playing more lightning storms in the main deck, but why would I? This makes my deck a lot weaker. If the more I play my spell removal in the main deck, the weaker my deck gets. Can my deck afford getting even weaker than it is already? I could get rid of my Celestial Magician. I could get rid of my Popper up, and I could put in 2 more of my Lightning Storms. I know that I'm at 45 and I could have gotten rid of more cards, but I think this deck is actually pretty alright for now. This is enough to deal with most situations on turn 1. However, what is going to happen on turn 2? So let's not put in Lightning Storm because it also only is on my opponent's side of the field. Let's think about, yes, I'm talking about this card, Double Cyclone. Is this worth it? This is in most ways worse than Mystical Space Typhoon, because you lose 2 cards and your opponent loses only 1 card. So of course it's weaker, but in all honesty, I think it's actually better. For my it might be better than Mystical Space Typhoon. The question is this or Heavy Storm Duster or Twin Twister. Those 2 I'm thinking about as well. Galaxy Cyclone is a no-go for me. So I think for now I'm going to put in some Twin Twisters because my deck really lacks the spell and trap removal. That's the biggest weakness it has right now. So Twin Twisters. And I think this should already make the deck a little stronger. Maybe even add Freak. I'm serious. This is a serious weakness of mine. So maybe this is worth it. Maybe. I'm not sure. But for now, let's go for 2. And then we are also going to put in one Pendulumgraph Drag. This is an interesting 45 card deck. It is a lot weaker than it was a few seconds ago, but it has a lot less of a problem against Zombie World and Mystic Mine, which is 2 of my biggest weaknesses right now, so I think this was a fair trade. I actually do think that I can deal with a lot of other decks on myself with this kind of deck. Maybe I could put in some Kaijus just in the side deck. Maybe 2 Kaijus just in case I'm playing against some unaffected guys. So Gamma Seal and Gadala. Let's try this out. One more duel. Okay, I have decided to do the one more duel in the next episode, so if you want to check that out, see you in one episode.